Anyway. Looks like my mic works perfectly this time around, so I guess I can just jump into it from here, but I won't just yet. There's a few extra things I still need to do. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So I just thought I would start off tonight with some news and get back into doing Sketch Jam properly after so long. So I just finished playing through an excellent game. That was a little bit long. Somewhat daunting. But absolutely perfect for my kind of, I guess, gaming like skill level, I guess. Now, I didn't play this when it first came out, back in, I think it was like 2005. And I didn't play it when it came out again in 2023. But I just finished playing it yesterday, and I gotta say that I freaking love this game. And the game in question is Resident Evil 4. Now, I've been sort of I guess, recovering from. I'm not like sick, but I have just this persistent cough, and it's been just driving me crazy for the last better part of a week. And yeah, like it's weird because I'm not actually like sick, like conventionally sick, like you know having flu symptoms or anything like that. It's just this cough, and it just started out of the blue, and I thought, oh, must have a bit of a touch of COVID again. When you get coronavirus and when it first hits you, you're like, oh boy. But now it's like, it's basically nothing. So if you can't tell, just from this, a terrifying but yet strangely hilarious bad guy in the game. Because as they appeared in the original 2005 version, like they were sort of constrained by the limitations of the technology that was available at the time. Like they couldn't do nearly as much with the physics of the character that they can do today. So you fast forward the better part of 20 years. The regenerator is considerably less menacing looking and more just kind of funny. They're very blobby now. Like they tried to make their face look like sort of nightmare fuel, but they kind of look more endearing than anything. Try to draw this guy in my style. So yeah, in the remake, it's just hilarious. So I'm just looking for references at the moment. You'll have to bear with me. So yeah, what's coming up? Got a few bits and pieces. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. They're making them even goofier. And really sort of push the quick cartoon look. Make them look even dopier. And I'll start like doing the worm towards you. It's really strange. Like of all the different breakdancing moves, I think the worm is by far the trickiest one to do. So you make these guys as cartoony as you want. Or as realistic as you want, you know, it's... Okay. I just got an update on an old YouTube channel that I used to upload to. It's just hit 4,000 subscribers. And that'd be great and everything. It's just that I've kind of moved on from that content. And I haven't posted there in months. It's weird when you have like a channel that you kind of just end up abandoning. Hey mate, how's it going? Yeah, like I used to upload a lot. Like that was kind of my test channel, and I used to. I used to post pretty much every day. That was the channel that I built during the pandemic. Like everything was shut down. Nothing was like really happening for me. I was still getting work, but it was patchy. So I decided, you know what, let's go all in with this whole YouTube thing. And I thought, you know what, instead of posting like my artwork and like my development videos and stuff like that, I'll just post, memes and, mashups and whatever I thought was. Oh, hang on, sorry. Hang on. Just reading the chat. It's not refreshing properly on my end. What was I saying? Yeah, so and eventually I just realized that I wasn't posting stuff that kind of had anything to do with what I was trying to achieve with my business and stuff, and it didn't make any sense to keep going with it. How you been, mate? Long time no see. I mean, I have been doing a lot of gaming recently, so I don't blame you for not wanting to watch me play like 8 hours of Resident Evil. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I saw that book you sent me. That was very cool. I got another mate of mine. I just discovered has become a full on tattoo artist. He's actually got studio work and seems to be doing some pretty amazing stuff. Like I thought about doing that, but yeah, you know what I'm like. I prefer paper as a medium to draw on. Yeah, I haven't updated my Patreon at all. Like, I've just let that go completely by the wayside. Like, I talked a good game about, like, this is gonna be my year where I, add all that exclusive content, and I, make sure that I've got like the online store ready and like I'm just no. Never got around to it. Got sidetracked again and again, and eventually I just thought, you know what, I'm doing fine. I'll be okay. Absolutely. And it has been raining like crazy here. We've had like, I think, 5 days of just nothing but like solid torrential, almost flood causing rain. Unfortunately, I live on a hill, so it doesn't really affect me too much. But man, some areas in Sydney have not fared nearly as well. I've still got that cough, man. So Leon, he's got interesting hair, this guy. I live on a house on the side of a hill, so like the rain just flows down. Fortunately, I don't live anywhere near the bottom of the hill because yeah, the area that I live in, um, it is prone to flooding. Oh dear. So yeah, Leon, he's a great character because he's really stern, and he's basically invincible. And he's got he's got a Karen haircut. Like I can't take him that seriously because he's just got this weird sort of, I don't know, it looks emo and it looks like it belongs on a woman in her late 40s. Like, if he wasn't running around shooting zombies and, trying to rescue Ashley, I swear he would be asking to speak to the manager at a restaurant. He's got the best worst haircut a man can have. This is coming from a guy who's bald. Yeah. That's absolutely right, man. Like, that's also what I like about Resident Evil. It doesn't like really make a lot of sense because like thematically it's all over the place. Like as far as the game goes, it has like four or five different like time zones, I guess you could say. Like it starts out in like a rural Spanish village. I think it's a Spanish village. And when I first played through, I thought they were Italian. But now, obviously, I know better. So he's Leon Scott Kennedy. A grown man who works as a police officer and has the hair of a K-pop singer. Just when like you chew on a pencil, like you never get that. You never get like splinters of wood when you chew on the Apple pencil. So I'll make him look a little bit happier. He's looking a bit grim. Sort of give his nose a bit of an aquiline bump. Make his chin look quite a little bit less. Excuse me. That's a problem when I'm talking a lot. His stupid cough won't go away. Just slowly dying here, don't mind me. Ugh. Try not to talk too much because it seems to aggravate it. I haven't done a sketch jam in nearly 2 months. And honestly, I kind of miss it, you know. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. These things are pretty durable, though. Like, I've dropped this thing countless times, and I've only ever had to replace like the end part, like once. Fun fact about these things: the nib, this screw top that is basically just a little piece of white plastic. You get a pack of these directly from the Apple Store. You get, I think you get 3 in a pack. $30. This tiny piece of plastic, which if you lose it or it wears out or breaks, makes this thing utterly useless to replace it. Minimum $10 each. I don't know how much it is in the States, but that is really expensive in Australia. Oh, for real? I haven't needed to replace this in God at least 3 years, so it's not a real issue for me. But when they do break, it's such a pain in the butt. So I'll bring this guy back. And I'll make Leon here a little bit smaller. Yeah, so he's always Mr. Broody, this guy here. I'm gonna put him in his jacket. He loses his jacket pretty early in the game, I noticed. Oh man. Oh. Yeah, I'm definitely over the worst of it. Just coughing constantly. Not a fun place to be. So this weekend I will be over at the I'll be drawing live at the Dog and Cat Expo at Sydney Olympic Park. I normally draw caricatures and stuff like that, but there is the option of getting your pets drawn if you like sort of caricature versions of, you know, dogs and cats or whatever. If you have fish or, you know, a cockatiel. I love the fact that the cockatiel kind of unseated the budgerigar as the must-have small parrot companion. Like, growing up, there was always, you know, that person who kept cockatiels as pets because they're native to Australia, so they're pretty common here. Although I've never actually seen one in the wild. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Like, so many popular pets are literally just like semi-domesticated versions or domestic, like, yeah, pets are just domesticated animals. That we don't eat, or at least we're not supposed to eat. Like, I don't recommend eating cockatiels. It's not so much that they don't have like they've got barely any meat on them, and they don't look like they would make much of a, you know, much of a meal. It's also that they're like, you know, they're cute. And I kind of feel like a sense of remorseful kinship with any creature that's essentially had all of its original, like, natural adaptations kind of bred out of it. Like, don't get me wrong, like cockatiels, like any kind of bird that's kept as a pet can still fly for the most part. Yeah, you can't help but feel a little bit sad for him. I kind of made him look a little bit too broody. I'm not. I'm not happy with that. I'll come back to him later. Hang on, give me a second. So Ashley from Resident Evil. Personally, I think they made her nose too big in the remake. But also, I appreciate that that's kind of a style choice. Because when it comes to Japanese games, and it's easy to forget that Capcom makes this. Because when you think Capcom, you automatically think like Street Fighter 2 and, well, the Street Fighter series in general. And like mostly just fighting games. But, you know, the Resident Evil series is arguably better, more culturally impactful, and just honestly more interesting than Street Fighter. And don't get me wrong, I love Street Fighter. I have very fond memories of it. The first game of Street Fighter took my two favorite things at the time, and this is when the X-Men animated series was like riding high back in the 90s. And you know, Street Fighter was like really cool as well. just basically two very culturally relevant and very popular franchises just getting merged together perfectly. Just seeing like, Cyclops teaming up with Ryu to just, do this massive Hadouken optic blast and just destroying Apocalypse. Yeah, sign me up. Like that kind of mashup, I absolutely love. And I remember playing it on the arcade machines. Like back in the day, they had, the stand up. You know, this cost money to play it kind of game. And I was staying with my friend over at my friend's house. This is back when I was I must have been like maybe 10, or maybe, yeah, I think I was 10 or 11. I can't remember. Anyway, I was staying at his place, and we had like a little bit of spending money. Just sort of had an allowance or whatever. Our parents had given us some cash to essentially just get out of the house, go explore, come back when you run out of money, that kind of thing. So yeah, we ended up going to the store, buying some snacks. I remember getting a tube of like raw cookie dough and eating that without actually making the cookies, which was a good idea at the time, but it quickly became abundantly obvious that that was a stupid idea. Kind of 3/4 of the way through it, I just thought, yeah, I shouldn't be eating this. This is disgusting. What is wrong with me? But, whatever. All I'm saying was cookie dough was a thing back then. We used to just eat like cookie dough from tubes. I don't know if they sell it anymore. I've honestly not checked. But yeah, I think we went to like the arcade or whatever, like a time zone place, because he just lived in like a small regional city, and yeah, they had this version of X-Men versus Street Fighter, and I remember you could pick two heroes, basically. You could play as two characters from either franchise. Like you could either pick two X-Men, you could pick two Street Fighter characters, you could pick an X-Man and a Street Fighter character. The choices were basically just that. But the thing is, and the coolest development in this particular game was the fact that it was a tag team game. If you got like absolutely destroyed, that wasn't game over. You still had a second fighter that you could gamble, and essentially you had another chance of winning. And that was amazing. Like, I'd never seen anything like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure there was a version of this that existed long before Street Fighter versus X-Men was made. I'm not aware of it. But yeah, what was I saying? Just sort of going on a ramble. Yeah, so I ended up picking Dalsim, the stretchy Indian guy who uses like yoga and teleportation and breathing fire as his powers, and Gambit. And it's just because like Gambit might not be the most powerful X-Man, like he's not the most like recognizable, he's not even the most popular. But the two things I like about Gambit is he walks around, he carries a big stick, he's got the long jacket, he's his powers are really cool because he can essentially make playing cards explode and he can throw them like ninja shurikens. But he's also a ladies' man, which is just hilarious as well. Like, I remember watching that show as a kid and just thinking, how is Rogue not killing him every time she kisses him? I would later find out that, like, Rogue had just actually a fair degree of, like, control over her powers, but back then I was just left with questions. Let's add some color to this guy. So yeah, I picked these two characters and just playing along. I can't remember exactly, the order of the characters that I ended up fighting against. But like, yeah, just, battling against Storm and Magneto and Wolverine and Cyclops and even Sabretooth is in there. And it's a fun game. Like, you got Juggernaut teaming up with Zangief. And we nearly died a couple of times, like, because I don't have, I just don't have the fast reflexes. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's better. Oh, man. I haven't been this crook in a long time. Be right back. Okay, so now we're close to the second part of tonight's sketch jam. I'm also going to draw some other stuff. Gotta be careful of the hidden layers. So like I was saying, I'll be drawing live at the Pet Expo at Olympic Park this weekend. It should be a lot of fun. So one of the old Disney movies that I watched as a kid was Oliver and Company. And that was a very underrated movie. And it's been basically forgotten. It's a very 80s movie. This was coming from a time when Disney was not doing so well. Like it's not a time that was really kept in the cherished memories of us 80s kids. But I remember the first Disney movie I ever went to see. My dad took me and I think my brother to see Basil of Baker Street, The Great Mouse Detective, and that had Vincent Price playing Ratigan. And yeah, I think I was probably about 3 years old when that came out. And it was both mesmerizing, scary, and fun to watch. And there hasn't really been any attempts to do sort of the mouse or anthropomorphic mice as the hero kind of stories with Disney ever again. Like the last one I think they did was The Rescuers Down Under, which is also a great movie. Like when that came out, I was so excited to see my country that I was born in, like represented in a Disney movie. And I've made this, I've ranted about this before, but the kid in it, Cody, had an American accent. Like of all the things this character should have been, why wasn't he Aussie? Like I don't understand it. Because America, their interest in Australia sort of comes and goes. Like every so often, an Aussie celebrity will make it really big over there. Like, for instance, Margot Robbie, Rebel Wilson, Hugh Jackman, Heath Ledger, even the other lesser Hemsworths. Like Aussies do exceptionally well, just in Hollywood. We just do. I don't get it. But ever since like Errol Flynn from Tasmania landed the role of Robin Hood, we've been crushing it, and we've been overrepresented in Tinseltown ever since. That being said, um, culturally, um, I think America's interest in Australia, it's sort of it comes in waves. Like, you know, they all loved Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin was the best. You know, heart of gold, a true gentleman. You know, professional, hilarious, and you know when he died, so like abruptly and tragically, like it was just like a sense of rudderlessness. So I'm drawing a series of yeah, Disney dogs. made his head a bit big. So these, the 80s was sort of a return to what they were good at. But at the same time, um, they were struggling. Like, this was before the Disney Renaissance. You know, when The Little Mermaid was made, when when they did The Lion King, and they made Beauty and the Beast and all that. Like, before these movies were made, Disney was just kind of just throwing everything at the wall, and they were competing against this other animator called Don Bluth, who used to work for them, and then he left and he took a bunch of their animation team with him and started his own company. And he was producing hit after hit after hit, and he was, you know, just a truly gifted, and you know, he was not just a great animator and just an all-around artist. Like, he was very, very good at what he did. Like, he used like rotoscoping techniques when it came to doing Anastasia, which was another one of his movies. But he was a good storyteller as well. Like, he did The Land Before Time, and I think he did a bunch of other ones that like weren't as good. Like, he did Rockadoodle and Pebble and the Penguin and A Troll in Central Park. And those ones were kind of duds, but he did The Secret of Nim. And The Secret of Nim was just proof that, you know, Western animation, like stuff produced in America, could be just as like hard hitting and, you know, at times very challenging and scary. And when animation was being like, the pioneers of it used to be one group of people, and then like it seemed like overnight it changed hands, and now Disney actually had a tangible threat on its hands, you know. And it's also bearing in mind that like anthropomorphic characters is sort of like the stock and trade of Disney, you know. No prizes to guess the character I'm drawing now. It's interesting that like we associate whiskers pretty much exclusively with cats when so many animals have whiskers. Like I have whiskers. Well, I mean, human facial hair doesn't really count, but they're sort of they're sort of like facial hair is kind of sensitive. And obviously, I can't use it to pick up slight vibrations in the air from a hidden prey species, so I can use it to stalk it at night. But yeah, just you know, doesn't always have to be about cats. Yeah, that seems to have calmed my cough down a lot. A lot. No, wait a minute. Sorry for all the dead air. I'm kind of looking for references. It's low quality. So, when Yzma gets transformed into a kitten in Emperor's New Groove, that made me love that movie even more. And Patrick Warburton as Crunk. Hilarious. So would I work for Disney again? In a heartbeat. I love that company. But so far, there haven't been any offers, so I'm not too concerned at the moment. I love this character. Oh, we've just gone over an hour and a half. Pretty good, as far as I'm concerned. I'll be right back. You'll have to forgive me. this version of using the cat is actually off model by quite a lot. Like, I just sort of flub the tail and, you know, but again, this is sketch jam. It's not supposed to be like 100% accurate. Although I'm very much, or at least try to be a perfectionist. Make that nose a little bit smaller. Because the part of the training that I did back when I first worked for Disney was you have to be very mindful of what the characters actually look like that you're drawing. You can't have them squash and stretch too much, especially if the character itself doesn't conform to that style. So yeah, that's the basic idea of what I want to produce. That's hilarious. Tomorrow, I'll bring in some more examples of my work just to have at the it's getting sitting for too long. At the convention on the weekend. Now, by the sounds of it, this is just my casual observation. The rain appears to have stopped, but it's too early to tell. The weather for the weekend, I don't know. Hopefully it stays dry so we can get some people in. But in the meantime, I would like to thank everyone who tuned in tonight. Court, mate, thanks again, buddy. It's good to hear from you from all this time. Court was here from the very beginning. Everyone else who tuned in as well, even if you're just lurking and you're just checking out what I do. Again, Thank you very much. I usually sort of do a gift sub to followers and everything. That's usually once a month, depending on my schedule and stuff. Just a little way of saying thank you. And yeah, that'll be it for tonight. It's only a short one because, again, I'm still on the mend and I've just got a bunch of other stuff to take care of. But yeah, it's good to be back doing Sketch Jam after all this time. So yeah, gaming and drawing. That's what I'll be doing going forward. So yeah. Until then, I will see you when I see you. See ya.